There's TV's Craig Ferguson. Please sit down, relax. Draw the blankets around you and sip your cocoa. Pay no attention to the howling coyotes outside. It's a great day for America, everybody. Or is it? It's Friday the 13th. Oh! Yes, I know. That's what I said the minute I got up this morning. I went, oh, it's Friday the 13th. Oh! This is a very weird one, this Friday the 13th. It doesn't feel like Friday the 13th. Doesn't it? Feels kind of like Wednesday the 27th or something. It's really weird. Oh. It is Friday the 13th, so I have to give my standard Friday the 13th warning. If you're a sexy teenager camping by a lake and it's 10 years to the day since the other sexy teenagers mysteriously vanished by the same lake, please be careful. Be careful. The guy lurking in the woods with a hockey mask on may not be a goalie. By the way, this show is #1 among sexy teenagers across America. You do know that. Every night at 12:30, the teenagers get off the MySpace. They stop hooking up. They stop doing the things they do. Ah, not now. The Scottish guy's on. Come on. That's how teenagers behave, apparently. Teenagers are all slightly apart like that for some reason. Anyway, it's Friday the 13th. Oh, scary movies always open on Friday the 13th. The Grudge 2 opens today. I am not going to see the movie. I'm not going to see that movie. I don't need to see a movie about resentment. I live that movie every day. You know what I'm talking about, Barry Manilow. Friday the 13th doesn't actually bother me, but it does bother a lot of people. I'm looking at the Google today. I'm looking at my Google today. And apparently, Friday the 13th, US businesses lose close to $1 billion every Friday the 13th because people won't go to work. I know, that's what when I went like that. Wow. God. What? What kind of a boss lets his employees stay home because they're creeped out? My boss is David Letterman. David Letterman is my boss. If I told him I wanted a day off for that, I'd end up as bait for Will It Float. Anyway, CBS, nobody takes Friday the 13th off. Everybody showed up at work today, Friday the 13th. Do you think Bob Barker would stay at home at Friday the 13th? No. He laughs at us. He laughs at us. We are foolish mortals in our superstitious ways. He laughs at us. Actually, Friday the 13th, I believe, was invented by Bob Barker back in medieval times. It was to celebrate the discovery of Plinko. I think that's... I don't know why Friday the 13th is considered unlucky. Do you know who was born on Friday the 13th? Mary Kate Olsen. I looked at it and go, Mary Kate, and her sister. Coincidence? Is it Mary Kate? What's her sister's name? Mary Kate and Osama. That's what it is. Yes, Mary Kate and Osama. Check them out, Homeland Security. That skinny bitch is trying to destroy us. Come on. Also born on a Friday... What the innocent children? They're victims of my pointless rage. You know who was born on Friday the 13th is Fidel Castro, who I think he's been pretty lucky, to be honest. He's held on to Cuba for years. When he goes, he'll have to pass the torch on to someone just as lucky. Maybe, perhaps even the Olsen twins. He should give Cuba to the Olsen twins. Oh, we can have Cuba? That is so great. I loved them in Jerry Maguire. He said, show me the money. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Friday the 13th, it's lucky, it's not lucky. You know, people have lucky superstitions. Like in the movie Bull Durham, the baseball movie, the baseball player, one of the baseball players wore women's underwear for luck. Which I do that too. Not for luck. For recreation. For luck, I wear baseball players' underwear. That's what I do. Hi, Barry Bonds, if you're watching. Do you know what I do for luck? In my house, I have horseshoes in my house hanging upside down. In my house, they're considered lucky if, you know, if the points are up, it's lucky. You can't have them pointing down or all the luck falls out. That's true. So I don't see how people can think superstitions are silly with airtight logic like that. Well, you know. Anyway, look, I'm looking at this today, right? I go and I try and find out about Friday the 13th today. I found a website that says it's unlucky if you have 13 letters in your name. And it listed all these people with 13 letters in their name. And some of them were a bit of a stretch because they had played with the names to make them have 13 letters. You know, Charlie Manson, you know, 13 letters. You know, Adolfo McHitler. You know, that's a stretch. Nah, that wasn't there. But you know what was there? You know, this was listed as someone with 13 letters in their name, Jack the Ripper. Now, one thing, Jack the Ripper I think was pretty lucky because he never got caught. And the other thing was, I'm pretty sure that wasn't his real name. That shit doesn't make any sense at all. Good news, Mrs. the Ripper, it's a boy. Ah, Jiminy, I wonder what business he'll get into. Anyway, I'm looking at this website, and there it is. Boom, me. I've got 13 letters in my name. That is the least of the noises I made when I saw it. 13 letters, I went, ooh, from more than one area of my body. I went, ooh, all over. But I consider myself a very lucky man, as I'm sure you do too. But you know, I tend not to win at things. You heard me, Manilow. I don't win at things. I do things to change my luck, though, that all men should do to try and change their luck. You know, shaving, bathing, trying the listening face. Mm-hmm. Do you know when I was a drunk, when I was... Seems like you've never have been. Do you know, I was talking to... Listen. When I was talking to a journalist once who said, you talk about your divorce and alcoholism on your show. That's very daring. What do you think? And I said, well, have you noticed that drunken, you know, divorce and alcoholism, they're kind of popular in America? I'm just playing to the crowd. Playing to the crowd. Anyway, when I was drinking, I didn't know I was a drunk because I was too drunk to figure it out. What? I was drinking. I thought I was just having a run of bad luck. I thought I was just unlucky. I thought, oh, fates, why are you against me? I always thought. And then I stopped drinking and my bad luck suddenly, you know, vanished. I thought, whoa, I stopped waking up in a dumpster. Just like that. Just like that. Anyway. And people talk about the luck of the Irish, which I never really understood that, quite frankly. Well, you know, red hair, freckles, drinking problems, lucky. Just saying. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Anyway, I think the phrase the lucky... I think the phrase the lucky of the Irish has something to do with leprechauns. Yeah, why not? It's got something to do with leprechauns. Now, I've been to Ireland, and I never saw one leprechaun. Not one. Well, Colin Farrell. I've met Colin Farrell, but I've never met a regular, real leprechaun. You're not supposed to call them leprechauns anymore anyway. That's very insensitive. The politically correct term now is tiny drunk midgets. Tiny drunk midgets. Do you know who leprechauns were very lucky for, when I think of it? Sean Connery. Now, I'll tell you why. Because Sean Connery's first movie was a movie called Darby O'Gill and the Little People. And he was, there was a movie about Sean Connery and some leprechauns. It was in 1959, and the producers saw that movie and cast him in James Bond because of that movie. And not only was he with leprechauns in that movie, it's the only movie he's ever been in where he sings. He sings a song in that movie. He sings, "She's my dear, my darling one, she's sugary, sexy, slutty." If I remember it, like, she's sugary, sexy, slutty. Here she comes to on my lap, she's sweet and sassy, Sally.
Worldwide Pants.